Hi, my name is David Figueroa. I'm running for the office of General President of the Miami Area Local APWU. Today is Sunday, February 10th, 2013. I would have done this sooner, but I had some technical difficulties with my video camera, with my computer. I actually got my computer worked on, and I wound up having to buy a new one, have one built actually. I also had problems with YouTube and everything, so I would have done this sooner had it not been for those difficulties. But I want you to remember the date, February 10th anyway, and the fact that I could have done it sooner. On Tuesday, February 19th, 2013, nominations for all officers of the Miami APWU will be accepted from the floor of that union meeting. I am telling you about these dates for two reasons. One is to inform you, and the other is to show you just one of the many reasons why you should vote for me instead of the other people. After the meeting, you will see dozens of people campaigning for offices within the union, and these dates are important because everyone else running for any office in this election, including those currently holding office, think they have to wait until February the 19th to campaign, and this is not so. They could have been campaigning 6 months ago if they knew. They would have been. I would have been had I had my stuff together, my computer and video camera, which I thought were working, and turned out to not to be able to do what I needed them to do. But anyway, why wait for this date? Why are these people waiting for this date? They didn't know. So the answer is plainly and simply ignorance. Of course, those that see my campaign literature might catch a clue and begin to campaign before that date. But these wannabe leaders have imposed on themselves imaginary restrictions because of their ignorance. If elected, they will continue to impose restrictions and barriers and hurdles on the membership that exists only in their minds within the realm of their own ignorance. And we, the membership, have seen this ignorance at work time and again and have suffered because of it for far too long. Time for a change? You bet it is, and it's long past due. It's time to rid our union of ignorance. It's time to reestablish ourselves, the membership, as a force to be reckoned with. It is a challenge that cannot be met with people like these that only know how to follow and that are destined to repeat the same ignorant mistakes. We can only accomplish this change with me, David Figueroa, as General President. That's David Figueroa as General President, leading this union in a positive direction by sharing my insights, talents, and skills, and pushing with the drive and determination that only I have. Only I can do this. Allow me to help serve you because we all should and can have a decent work life. Now, ignorance isn't always a bad thing. I can't perform a heart transplant, for example. I simply don't know how. But imagine me in an operating room with a scalpel in my hand. That's a harsh reality for someone, wouldn't it be? My ignorance of surgical techniques will never be an issue, however, because I will never try to operate on anyone. Now, I love, like, and I know many people, a lot of people, but there is only one person that I would have build me a house. His name, by the way, is Steve. Why? Because he is the only one that knows how to. You know, why would I get anybody else to do something, put them in place in a position that they don't know what to do? With anyone else building my house, I could not trust it to stand strong. Likewise, when incapable or unqualified people try to play president, vice president, clerkcraft president, or even steward, the outcome has always been very harsh on us. If this is allowed to continue, our hopes and dreams can collapse on us as they have for so many recently and in the past. Each time the wrong people are elected, they not only bring in their own ignorance, but they purge the union of talent and experience by firing stewards that either didn't support their campaign for office, or they had personal issues with, or simply to make room for some friend. They feel they owe them and not you. They replace experience, with ignorance, and we suffer and pay for it every time. I don't care about such nonsense. I promise everyone, those that help and those that don't help me, only the best person for the job. The best, most qualified, and most experienced people stay as long as they don't hurt the membership. New and capable talent will be developed as well, and every one of those people, elected or appointed, will have to display passion for their sworn duties as elected officials or stewards to work for the membership. I, David Figueroa, unlike those types mentioned earlier, I am not ignorant of the provisions of the contract or how labor laws and legal sites can be used. I, unlike others, can write a mean grievance. That I can do well. I can see violations of the provisions of the collective bargaining agreement while others sit there and scratch their head. They tell you management can do that. What provision is it violating? Show me in the contract. They actually have given employees the CBA so that employees can find the violation, and it's their job to know where it is and how to fight a grievance, how to file it and how to write it up and everything else. Well, I know that union advocates also must fight for the membership when management violates the law, while most of your current and past advocates haven't a clue. This includes union management as well, president, vice president. You know, they're not fighting violations of the law on your behalf. I also know that grievance is not just found within the confines of black type, but on white paper, but it's found in the absence of said type as well. In other words, what's not said in the contract can also become a grievance. And when you write that grievance up properly, you channel your response by your arbitrator, and he has no choice. He can't go here because of your arguments. He can't go there because of your arguments if you're prepared properly. And he's starting here, he has to end up there. And that, my friends, becomes a site. Once the arbitration is made, his write-up, his decision is a legal site. And that becomes part and parcel of our contract, even though there's no precise stipulation for it in the contract. That's how it's done. These guys don't have a clue to that. Okay? I also know that neither side, union nor management, can agree to violate the provisions of the contract, and I have overturned numerous such grievous violations of your rights and gotten you back dozens and dozens of jobs and pay and overtime. I know that even arbitrators have no authority to modify the terms and conditions of the CBA and have overturned those wrongs to your benefit as well. No one else in this union, past or present, anybody running, can say this. They can barely win a normal grievance. I have overturned grievances, I have overturned settlements and sign-offs by our union and arbitrations because I know what I'm doing. Management has been pushing and harassing you and violating your collective bargaining rights and legal rights for so long that most of you think that's the way it's supposed to be.